In the name of Allah, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah, and may Allah peace and the blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad, his family, his companions, and upon all previous prophets, Moses and Jesus and Abraham. We are Muslims. We make no difference among all of them. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. Thanks to Allah that Allah make us as a Muslims and characterized our ummah as a moderate and just ummah. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Mary, may Allah peace and the blessings upon her, in the Quran 34 times, while the Prophet Jesus has been mentioned in the Quran more than 25 times. And we are Muslims, we just need to focus on a fact that as a Muslim, we believe in all prophets. We believe in Moses and Jesus. I believe in Abraham. We believe in all prophets, and this is one of the pillars of our faith, that we have to believe in all prophets. Actually, in the Quran, we have a full chapter talks about or names after Mary. That chapter called in Arabic Maryam, or as it's been translated into English, Mary. And actually this is to describe this story, or this chapter of the Quran, tell us about the detailed story of the Prophet, the detailed story of the Prophet Jesus and Mary. But this is not the only chapter in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the story of the Prophet Jesus and Mary in details. Actually, we have a long chapter, which is the third chapter of the Quran, a long chapter called Ali Imran, which actually named after the family of Mary. And we have another chapter which named after Mary, which named after her name. So these two chapters in the Quran describes in details the story of the Prophet Jesus, as well as Mary. One of these beautiful and gentle verses in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us about how Islam consider Mary, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ إن الله اصطفاك وطهرك واصطفاك على نساء العالمين. In which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that angels are talking to Mary and saying to her that Allah has chosen you and Allah has beautified you, and actually Allah has chosen you above the whole women of the world. واصطفاك على نساء العالمين.
وإذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم إن الله اصطفاك وطهرك واصطفاك على نساء العالمين.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. And when the angels said, O Mary, indeed Allah has chosen you and purified you and chosen you above the women of the worlds.
So I would just say that Mary has mentioned in the Quran more than 34 times, but in more details in two chapters. Chapter which named after her family, Al Imran, which is one of the longest chapter in the Quran actually. This is the third chapter in the Quran. And another chapter which describes the story of Mary in details, which named after her name, the chapter of Maryam. But in different chapters of the Quran, Allah tells us about Mary. In a chapter of Tahrim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَمَرْيَمَ ابْنَةَ عِمْرَانَ الَّتِي أَحْصَنَتْ فَرْجَهَا فَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا وَصَدَّقَتْ بِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّهَا وَكُتُبِهِ وَكَانَتْ مِنَ الْقَانِتِينَ. Allah describes Mary in that verse. She was the daughter of Imran, Ibnata Imran, and who guard her chastity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guard his chastity And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala فَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا, that Allah breathed into her body our spirit, which was the Prophet Jesus. And she brought into faith, and she was actually so obedient, and she was so pious to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how the Qur'an describes Mary. And in a lot of narration and a lot of verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the Prophet Jesus, as we said that we have to believe in the Prophet Jesus as Muslims. We believe in all prophets. We believe in the Prophet Jesus. And the Qur'an mentioned the Prophet Jesus more than 25 times. And actually, it is the same number that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the Prophet Adam. The father, our father Adam, mentioned in the Quran 25 times. And the Prophet Jesus mentioned in the Quran also 25 times. And there's a verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Jesus and Adam in the same verse, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, and actually this verse has been mentioned in the chapter of Ali Imran, or chapter which named after the family of Mary. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that إِنَّ مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ آدَمَ خَلَقَهُ مِنْ تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونَ. In that verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Jesus is like the Prophet Adam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created both of them from dust and then said to them, be, and he was. He just would like to say that the Prophet Adam and the Prophet Jesus was created by the same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala breathed into the body of Mary with the spirit of the Prophet Jesus.
إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم خلقه من تراب ثم قال له كن فيكون.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Indeed, the example of Jesus to Allah is like that of Adam. He created him from dust. Then he said to him, be, and he was.
Even in Sahihaini, the most authentic books of the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it has mentioned in different narration and in different hadiths that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned Mary in his hadiths. One of these hadiths, he described her as a perfect woman, saying in the hadith that in the authentic hadiths, which hadith Ibn Jarir, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that كمل من الرجال كثير ولم يكمل من النساء إلا مريم ابنة عمران وآسية امرأة فرعون. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying in that hadith that many men achieved perfection, but only two women among women, only two female who are achieved such rank of perfection. Such a rank of perfection, according to the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that rank of perfection, many male has achieved it. But for female, only two women have achieved that rank of perfection. These two are, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Maryam, the daughter of Imran, and Asya, which is the wife of Fir'aun. This is one of the most authentic hadiths that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about Mary, and it mentioned in different narrations. Other narrations, which is mentioned in Al-Bukhari, it says that كمل من الرجال كثير ولم يكمل من النساء إلا آسية امرأة فرعون ومريم ابنة عمران وإن فضل عائشة على النساء كفضل الثريد على سائر الطعام. So in that hadith, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam confirmed the same idea that there are two women who are reached the rank of perfection of the history of human. These two women are Mary, of the daughter of Imran, and Asya, the wife of Fir'aun. But for that rank of perfection, that a lot of male have reached to that rank.
إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Indeed, Allah chose Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham and the family of Imran over the worlds.
Again, in that chapter in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the story of Mary and the Prophet Jesus in details, and actually that chapter named after the family of Mary, Ali Imran, chapter of Ali Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين. In that verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah has chosen some people from all worlds. Those two people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Adam, إن الله اصطفى آدم, and Nuh, وآل إبراهيم, the family of Abraham, وآل عمران, the family of Imran, above al-alamin, above the mankind. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen Mary and beautified her, the common ground that we believe in the Prophet Jesus and we believe in Mary, the common ground is that we believe in all the miracles of the Prophet Jesus that has been mentioned in the Qur'an, whether to return to the sight of the blind people, or to breathe into, or to raising the dead, or to breathe into the dead bird to come into life. All of this has been mentioned in the Qur'an, and all of this considered as a common ground that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Muslims and Christians to come in order to live together.
تعب عشاننا كتير وتحمل الأحزان لأجل الإسلام يعيش ويوصل القرآن. تعب عشاننا كتير وتحمل الأحزان لأجل الإسلام يعيش ويوصل القرآن. صحابة ومؤمنين في خطى النبي الأمين كانوا متوحدين.
يا رب يا مؤمنين نصارى ومسلمين فهموا الجاهلين منهم ورسول الله.
Dear respected viewers, till the next episode of your program Revelation, peace. Salamullahi alaikum wa rahmatuhu wa barakatuh.